Greetings everyone! On the bench here I have the Fosi Audio SP601 speaker. I did a review of this thing a while back. I think they were decent speakers for the money, but there are some things I thought they could do better. So in this video I'm going to hack these and see if I can improve the sound. So there's three things I noticed with these speakers. Not in any particular order. But the first thing is they got this large surface area, no internal bracing. It'd be nice to have a network of bracing inside, but I would like to add one cross brace about to the center of this. You know, that could help with cabinet resonances. Another thing was the fiber fill inside. So I have this fiber fill going around the perimeter of the speaker. Just a big empty hole in the middle. So I really think it would benefit by adding more fiber fill. Stuffing it might tame some of the resonances and things like that. The biggest thing though with this speaker was the treble. It was accentuated. It was what I call a little bit hot compared to my other speakers. I think this would benefit greatly by toning down the treble. Maybe it will uncover other issues when I tone it down, but at least to my ears, when I listened to it, I thought the treble was a little on the hot side. Doing that's going to require modding the crossover, but the way they have it done here, I think it should work. So they have two pole filters on the woofer and tweeter. They have a padding resistor on the tweeter. So tweeter was even hotter without that, so they must have added that. But I don't think it's quite enough. So I'm going to increase the value of this resistor to drop the output of the tweeter. However, when you do that, it increases the impedance that this filter sees, and that'll throw off the crossover point. So I need to add another resistor that brings the impedance back to the same level. So after taking measurements, I determined that the nominal impedance of the tweeter is 8 ohms. Of course, the 4.7 ohm padding resistor. So ignoring this resistor here, pretend it's not in the circuit. So across these is 12.7 ohms. So if I put 12.7 volts across that, Ohm's law tells me I get 1 amp. So I square R tells me the power dissipated in any of these devices here, because I know the current and the resistance. So 1 squared is just 1, that's why I use 12.7 volts. So 8 watts would be dissipated here. Now to drop that power by 3 dB, I would have to cut the power in half, make it 4. So if I change this to a 10 ohm resistor, that drops the current to about 1 over the square root of 2, which is 0.71. And if you square 0.71 using that I squared R, you get 0.5 times 8 is 4 watts. So I'm going to try a 10 ohm resistor here. And if I do the math, I find that I need a 43 ohm resistor here to bring the total resistance, or I guess you could say impedance, of this circuit back to 12.7 ohms, so that crossover network will still cross over at the proper frequency. Now, I'm not going to have that value. I'm just going to put a 47 in there. I think that's close enough. It's not going to shift things too much. I could stack on resistors until I meet that, but yeah, I'm just going to use a 47. Okay, first off, I'm going to put a cross brace in. Try to get it centered inside there. You could even do 2 of them if you wanted, but I'm not going to bother with that. This is painted white because I had some leftover lumber from when I was trimming out my garage. That's why it's white. And it matches the speaker, so yeah, this will fit. I'll have to snap it into place there. I might need to cut it down, but I'll get it situated in there and glued. Then I'll add the stuffing. Okay, the work has been completed. Let's see, I got the cross brace installed. And I got the stuffing put in all the way up around here. I try to keep this opening area of the port clear, but pretty much stuffed everywhere else. I have the new 10 ohm resistor installed here, and the 47 ohm shunt resistor installed there. Now, just put this back in there and see what it sounds like. Okay, I've been playing around with these, listening to music, test tones and everything. I have a A-B switch back there. I switch back and forth. And usually I have to dinker around to get things tuned in, but I think I got it right the first time. And this speaker here is the modded one. Yeah, much less trebly, sibilant, not as grating when you sit in front of them. I think I think I just got it right. And also checked the bass, and I didn't harm the bass at all. That's good. So I noticed the palm of my hand is more sensitive to the vibrations, and put my palm of my hand on the side of the speaker when it's playing, I do notice a distinct decrease in vibrations there, so the bracing does help out. I checked with my little Radio Shack meter and checked between the tweeters, and yeah, exactly 3 dB difference, except at 4,000 hertz it's only 2, but some sort of anomaly. But I'll give you an example. You have to be perfect here. So this mark, that's the front end distance from the tweeter. So I'll turn the field tech on, and I'll remind myself to lower the volume because this is a very annoying tone to listen to. Okay, so this one's reading, I gotta make sure I'm perfectly lined up, 82. The modded speaker is 79. Well, of course, when I talk, it throws it off. But it's 79, so exactly 3 dB. Okay, so taming the treble makes these speakers a lot more listenable, to me at least. And I'm going to mod the other speaker here so I'll have a match set. And that'll do it for this one. Thanks for watching.